What do you mean this is the Liege of Games Center for kids that can't play board games good and want to learn other tabletop RPGs? What is this? A planet for ants? How can we be expected to teach kids how to terraform Mars if they can't even fit on the planet? No, we don't need your excuses, Stronghold Games. The planet needs to be at least 3 times bigger than this. Giving you my best blue steel, it's Chris, Liege of Games. Let's do this. So, in case you weren't aware, and, let's be clear, no games were hurt in the filming of making this video. This is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition from Stronghold and Fry Games. And this is, it's all the hotness right now because there is an upcoming expansion, or 3 expansions for it. But that's not why I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this because it's a very interesting concept. It's a very interesting concept in the sense that it takes a significantly established product of Terraforming Mars, and it says, let's distill it down to its core, its base, its root. And let's see how we can use that in a different way. Because we've seen that with other games, and frankly speaking, it has not been well accomplished when you see that in other games. When you take a classic auction game or a classic card game and make it into a dice game, or a Euro game that is made into one of those as well, or a big dinosaur game thrown into now a roll and write. Whatever it may entail, we are seeing more of it because, just like on Hollywood, why come up with an original idea when you can just modify the one you have and, catch the audience or a significant portion of them with the same thing. So when we talk Terraforming Mars, and, this game is no exception because even on the side of the box, it lists all of its predecessors that you can go and, conveniently pick up in case you're wondering what all the names are. They're right there for you. Now, this was a crowdfunded game that went to retail, wide retail, Target retail. So high expectations for, a game that whose original wears the crown, right? Because let's be frank here, Terraforming Mars is right up there probably with Wingspan in terms of games that are most recognizable cross hobby, even outside of the hobby. I mean, one of the guys in my office plays Terraforming Mars. It's one of the only hobby board games he has and ever experienced, and has introduced his kids to it as well. So it has cross-cultural influence in that aspect, in this golden age of board gaming. So, when you take something like this is not easy money. This is a gamble. I mean, imagine if Wingspan all of a sudden came out with a roll and write. Can you imagine the scrutiny that would come with that? Well, I mean, that's essentially what happened with this. And we'll set it right up here next to Ignite here for the video. But that's what they've done. And they've distilled it into a Race for the Galaxy shell with a Terraforming Mars theme. Utilizing DNA from both, twisting it up in their own unique double helix, mechanically driven card game, and said, here you go. A sampling. A aperitif, if you will. Again, full disclaimer, as someone who has not played Terraforming Mars, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. Because all the hype, all the love, all of the entrenchment that I see across the hobby with this game, as someone who is on the out looking in. And so when I got this game, no expectations, right? I am not a big fan of Race for the Galaxy whatsoever. So coming into this, recognizing that those were thematic and mechanistic incorporations into this game that I have been getting to my table, you would imagine would be potentially a very tough pill to swallow, to say the least. Because, again, it does things that I warn, I caution, I preach against on a routine basis of the cooperative, the competitive, and the solo mode for a game that is as compact as it is in the first place. Heavy has been the debate of how does this compare? Does it live up to? How do you feel about comparison wise? There are plenty of people out there that will give you an exact, detailed, down to the base pair definition, explanation, comparison of the DNA of these games. I am not one of those people. But what I can tell you is how I feel about this game having played solo, having played multiplayer. This is truly the case of a game, and I do not say this lightly, whose sum is greater than the parts. And this is a game closely to the sense of Dune Imperium that is an exposure to things you are not as comfortable with that can attract other people who are in a similar mindset while not losing the core audience of the people that liked the original in the first place. And to say that that is done exceedingly well would be an understatement. That is not to say that this game is perfect by any means. The engine building is sleek. The resource management in combination with the production of the cards, influencing them on a round by round, turn by turn basis, gives it a unique style that I haven't seen elsewhere. One of its biggest strengths of the massively tiered deck of cards that you are given to sort through of the 3 different types is both its biggest strength, but the bloat is almost a weak point as well, where you can go for a time of not having as many options as you may prefer just by the sheer randomness and size of a deck of that magnitude in the first place. The solo mode is not a puzzle just to be solved, but it is a puzzle to be attacked and to be on guard, posturing back and forth, adapting to what you are given, both card-wise and phase-wise. The head-to-head development is a race that is also strategically dependent on the phases that you need. And while you are not racing for a galaxy, you are still racing for the planet itself in the oxygen and the temperature akin to its namesake, if you will. The engine is smooth, but it is not without bumps along the way in which you are going to have to navigate when you do not get the things that are the most optimal for your plan, as you are forced to pivot because just because you have chiseled abs and stunningly good features, it doesn't mean that you can't die in a freak gasoline fight on the surface of Mars. Just like the famous Zoolander once said, moisture is the essence of wetness. Ares is the essence of Mars. And this game is not only a tribute to that, but I dare say a more accessible, less overhead, potentially better game than its predecessor, because what matters most about this is that you get the game played. And this game accomplishes that in all 3 of those ways of head-to-head, cooperative, and solo. So it's a wider mass appeal in a smaller, not quite ant-sized version of Mars in a box. So what do I think? It's a great game. I wasn't expecting to like it. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. I wasn't expecting to keep it in my collection, which I am doing. And if that doesn't say all you need to know right there, well, go pick it up and try it out for yourself. Because you can. Because that's the great thing. Availability, accessibility, the actuality, all rolled into one, and it works. Engine building, a little bit of, can I get what I need? Card playing, card driven, planning with tactical, but with a little strategery at the same time. That's Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition. As always, If you like this, let me know. Let me know what you think. Terraforming Mars? Ares Expedition? Do you need to have expansions to make them equal? You okay with getting expansions for this? Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you like this, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching either way. Stay classy. Have a great day. How many Zoolander references did you catch? I tried to throw a few more in, but, you know, it's kind of hard to throw random Zoolander into a board game review, right? That's all I got.